Is this the part where we build the Bionicles over a course of like a couple days and then at the end show each other what creations we've made?
Yes. Alright folks, Bionicles. What can I say about them? Probably the greatest toy of the 2000s. They were my childhood. I assume they were part of Brendan's childhood as well. Buildable action figures that had like their own like lore based off of stolen Polynesian ideologies and Pacific Islander ideologies. What more could you ask for as a good old Zoomer growing up in the 2000s? I can't think of anything else. So, for my little buddy that I wanted to build, I wanted to make it based off of Brutaka, one of my favorites from the original G1 of Bionicle. Just like this super cool like gold evil it can do with a big old sword. Yeah, I just thought he was cool, and he was like the biggest one that I owned. So, for my construction, why don't we just go over the construction real quick? Word hard. No speak, head empty, no thoughts, small brain. The first thing I want to go over is the body construction. So I built a little frame using these CCBS pieces. It's just the regular skeleton portions that you would normally see. Then I decided to put some armor, so I went blue and gold because that is Brutaka's color scheme, and I also used the like animal feet because I thought they looked cool. We're also using our red head because he had red eyes. Next, I stuck these little like arm elbow joints together with some traditional old school Bionicle hands. And once I did that, I put some armor on them to make little spiky pokey things that will come in handy later. Next, I decided to custom build my chest piece because I thought that'd be cool. I wanted to evoke the original Brutaka. Now, unfortunately, I'm a dum-dum and I can't find Brutaka's mask, nor that foot piece right there that's in silver. That's actually supposed to be in gold on his set, but I can't find that. So instead of using silver for that, and for the mask you'll see later, I'm just using the Mask of Light from the Bionicle Stars line because it was the one I had. Yes, we want that little gold claw and piece pin, and then a pin with an axle connector on it, and you just put them together like that, so it looks like one cohesive unit. And you just stick it right on his chest. If you look in the back, there's going to be a little bit of a pin poking out. That'll come in handy later. Next, we're going to give him some side armor so he's not so skinny, because as you can see, the old CCBS stuff looks very skinny. So we're going to take these pieces, and we're going to make a little, basically, a little brick with some pins sticking out of it. And we're going to stick that on his back. And then we're going to attach the more connectors to it. Next, we're going to take these gold Bow-Rock eyes, which are actually from the original Brutaka set, and we're going to put some pins in them. And we'll stick them on his sides in those holes that we added earlier to fill out his silhouette a little bit. Next, of course, he needs back armor, because what Bionicle is complete without back armor? Answer is most of them. They did not do a lot of back armor back in the day. So we just need that little golden piece right there, a connector, and a pin. Just stick the pin right through to connect them. And then we're also going to take another Bow-Rock eye and another pin. We're going to stick that right in the back of his neck. And we're going to attach the back armor to that extra pin that was sticking out from when we attached the chest piece. Next, we're going to add on the accessories to him. So we got the Mask of Light from the Bionicle Stars line, some claw pieces, and the really cool pieces from the Skull villains from the 2015 Bionicle sets, which I wish I picked up back in the day, because those are really cool. So, pictured here is actually incorrect. I swapped this around and put those pieces on his knees instead of his upper thighs, because otherwise it looks weird. And then he's got the Mask of Light on his head. It looks pretty good. Again, I wish this was gold so it had more of a cohesive color scheme. And looking back, I also found out they made these knee pads in gold as well. Next, we attach the spikes to the back of his back. This is kind of represent the original figure. He had these like pokey, sticky outy things that folded into his back and came out. So you kind of like that, also kind of looking like a cape maybe, or some like back spikes, maybe Sonic the Hedgehog. Finally, we're going to build his shield and sword. So for shield, you just need the grass shield pieces, also from Bionicle Stars line, a connector and a pin, just stick them together like that. And then the sword, you're going to need his original sword, plus the little tiny sword piece in the chain. I just think the chain looks cool. And then once you plug that on his hand, this is what it'll look like. And I don't know about y'all, but I think that's pretty neat. He's got kind of like a tribal leader look to me, not quite like Brutaka because he's missing the mask and the chest piece, but overall I'm very happy with what I did.
1 and 2 and 3. Well, I told my good friend Nick that his idea was sick, so I went online to purchase all my parts. I made sure to grab some torsos, metal wing mitts, and some clawed toes. Then I sorted out each piece so I could start. Centaurs were my inspiration for this insect-like creation. It's got 4 wings, 4 legs, 2 arms, and mandibles. Look at them chompers. Despite the fact this thing was heavy, I made sure the legs held steady, so under his weight he wouldn't take a fall. As you're telling by this time lapse, this character looks badass and gives off a vibe that's diabolical. Hearing all the ball joints click was so fun and nostalgic. 'Twas a pleasure building my Bionicle.
Anyway, for my bonkle, I decided to make Brutaka, but what if he came to Bionicle Generation 2 instead of Generation 1? So basically, in the story, he has the ability to travel dimensions. So the guy I built is actually Generation Brutaka that we all know, Generation 1 Brutaka that we all know and love, who used his powers to travel to the Generation 2 universe to look for the other half of the Mask of Time, which actually does exist and is canon in Generation 2. So that's why he came to Generation 2 world. But when he got there, his mask did an explosion, and now he wears a mask of light because their version of Madanui felt bad for him and said, here, have a mask of light, and you can hold on to that until I figure out how to make you a new dimension traveling mask. And now he just kind of chills in Makoto, doing Brutaka things and being an edgy Sonic the Hedgehog edgelord. Yeah.
Incredible.
Indeed.
I just want you to know that I was not chopping at the bit to go excuse me, the Mask of Time is not canon? So, you're fine.
But it is canon in Gen 2, though.
Alright, yeah, alright. I know nothing about that, so I just know, haha, cool robot man.
Cool robot man.
So this dude is just a Toa-ass Toa.
He's not a Toa.
You know what? He looks like one, though.
But he's not.
Ugh! He's one of those figures. He's the figure ones, with the mask, with the weapon, the base.
That's all Bionicles, though.
It's not all Bionicles. Hashtag not all Bionicles.
It is most Bionicles, though.
Dude, he's got the big sword, he's got the plates, he's got the mask with several holes in it.
He's a member of the Order of Madanui, he's not a Toa.
Gosh, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know any of this. I don't know
This is why
lore.
you're casual.
Yeah, I know that, and I accept that, and I'm okay with that.
I'm not. I have to know all of it.
Alright, well, if you're gonna be that way, well, I'm just gonna critique you for a second. I think the gold makes him look bottom heavy.
Yeah, you're right.
That's all I got.
Honest opinions, though?
It's a cool design. I think maybe there could be more gold where the silver and gray is.
Yes. So.
And maybe some more blue. Or
alright.
Purple, whatever it is.
So, initially, I was going to use Brutaka's actual mask and a golden foot piece from his set, but I can't find those pieces anywhere. So that's why we're using the silver pieces for right now. And as for the gray parts, I did not know until after I got them that they actually do come in gold, so I could have gotten gold versions of those as well. Yeah. So, you live and learn.
Alright, last thing I want to say. It's more of a request. See, I'm looking at this photo you took where he is sort of like leaning back with his arms spread out. What I'm gonna do is ask that you would, in whatever voice you imagine this lad to have, please say, "Come at me, bro."
Is it the one reason the Kenobi pose?
It's the one where he's saying, "Come at me, bro," with his body.
Come at me, bro.
Thank you. That's all I ask.
You're welcome.
All right.
Give me a little backstory, a little premise, a little explanation.
Great. Now, as we've already established, I am no expert on Bionicle lore, so I just grabbed a whole bunch of pieces and decided, hey, I'm gonna make a cool bug centaur. And that's what I did. Now, what I love about Bionicle naming conventions is that they're all stupid, but the good guys always have more thought put into their names than the bad guys. And this dude is definitely a bad guy. Like, this is like the guy in like the anime that shows up halfway through and the main character fights them, but they beat the main character, but the main character like chops off his like wing or something, and then they have to fight again later.
I get you.
Yeah, this is definitely a bad guy. And since bad guys can have the stupid names like Nocturne and Thok, I'm gonna call this guy Locrass because he's like a locust and he's a little crass. He'll say a cuss word at you.
Oh, will he?
He's a bad guy.
It's not very PG-13 of you.
No, it is very PG-13 of me. You can say several cuss words in a PG-13 movie.
You got me there. Alright, so here are my questions. Why do his head be so small?
It's about the same size as any other Bionicle head. It's just that the rest of his body is a huge chonk.
He is quite the chungus, isn't he? Now, did you give him all those ball joints with the intention of giving him a lot of articulation, or did you just think it looked cool?
See, the torso makes it easier, or the several torso pieces make it easier to make a centaur-like model. Because you need, at least 6 different appendages for that. But I also gave him wings, because he's a bug. And he has to have 4 because he's an insect. So he also has a tail, and bugs don't really have tails, but, you gotta go with me here on that one.
Now, what are his goals?
His goals and aspirations? Gee, I haven't really thought about it, but I feel like he got into the business of being evil and meeting Toa on the field of battle and destroying them so that the next generation of Toa can rise up in the backstory, But I feel like he just sort of fell into that occupation. It's not really his passion,
What is his passion?
I feel like he would love stage performance if he really got into it.
I agree.
Like, this dude can do a killer soliloquy. I know it.
What do you think his favorite playwright would be?
Himself. I think he's very vain, and he, in his spare time, when he's not out there killing other Bionicles, he is penning his own productions. Probably about him being the main character and killing other Bionicles, but more theatrical.
I like it.
Also, I want to say that his jaw moves, so it looks like he can talk.
Ooh, spicy. Now here's a real question though that I'm sure everyone wants to know. Who would win in a fight?
I did think about this a little bit, and it just comes back down to what I said before about like what role this character sort of plays. I think in their first fight, my character would win, but they'd both come away with like some scrapes, and my dude would have like a broken wing or something. And then in like the final battle, or like the hallway to the final boss or something, he shows up again, and then he loses to yours.
So he's the Death Knight.
He's the Death Knight. He goes, "Ugh! I've been defeated, but I can't fall here."
Yeah, but I was gonna say, those wings, they do pose a challenge to my lad. Because if you notice, he can't really fly.
I don't think this guy can fly either, honestly.
According
to all known laws of aviation, there's no way that Locrass should be able to fly.
So he's not actually a locust, he's a bee.
His wings are so small compared to his gigantic body. Plus, he's got a giant shield that he's holding that's definitely gonna weigh him down. And I think they're just for show, honestly.
Here's the thing, though. This is a fantasy, so anything can happen.
Wait, Bionicle isn't real?
It's real in our hearts.
Doesn't it? No. Is Bionicle real or not?
Bionicles do exist.
The tales of the Toa and Makuta, are they true?
Yes, they just happened a long time ago. The time before time.
1999.
Actually, 2001, but yeah. 1999, it was still known as Afterman.
See, this is why I can't talk about this with you, because I don't know.
It's absolutely doing a flex on you. You have not been trained in the ways I have been trained.
You know what I do know, though? We made some cool dudes.
We did.
I feel like this is the part of the video where we kind of get off track and just fumble into an outro. So, thanks for joining us in our Bionicle adventure. If you have watched this all the way through, I'm sorry, and thank you.
May your mask be your guiding key.
May your mask be your guiding key, everyone. We love you.
I stole that from Bed Bath & Bionicle.
That's plagiarism. You can't use that. Cut the video. Cut the